What's up, guys? It's Rain City MMA. Your boy Bryson here with
Joey.
And today we're breaking down UFC Fight Night, Garcia versus Onama. It's going to be a real fun one. We are back in the Apex, though, which is sad. That will also dictate kind of some of our bets because of the smaller cage. So we're excited to break this one down. Let's go. All right, guys. The first matchup, we got a women's strawweight matchup. Talita Alencar versus Ariana Carnelossi. This is a fight I'm not looking to bet on. Really low women's MMA. Alencar is 250. Carnelossi is plus 200. Honestly, Carnelossi has the upside with her finishing. 11 out of 15 wins come by finish. She shows some good Muay Thai. Horrible takedown defense, 14% though, and that's what Alencar's good at. So it's either going to be like an early knockout or a boring decision where Alencar just stays on top and wins on points. So I'm passing on this fight, and on to the next, really. Who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, guys, just to be noted, Alencar is 34 and Cancerini or whatever is 32. So, I mean, these girls are older, a little past their prime. Alencar, she has a super short reach and throws super low volume on the feet, guys. So, she's really looking to get to the ground a lot of the time. She has very heavy top control and, shows her BJJ. On the other side, guys, I just think Carnelossi is super inactive and she comes out aggressive very early. And I think that's really bad and doesn't play in her favor in this fight. I think Alencar is going to take her down, maybe the late first, early second, and she's going to gas. So if I had to pick in this fight, Alencar money line looks real nice. All right, guys. The next fight, we got a welterweight matchup between Sookyung Ko and Phil Rowe. Ko coming in at a minus 210 favorite, and Phil Rowe coming in at a plus 170 dog. Guys, Sookyung Ko, they call him the Korean Tyson. I bet on him by KO his last fight. It could not be more ironic, guys. He's a super low volume striker, and he is pretty good at his grappling. His offensive grappling is next level. Phil Rowe, on the other hand, all wins in the UFC come by finish, and he uses his reach super well. By the way, Rowe is having a 80.5 reach to a Ko at 71, so that's about a 9.5-inch disparity there. If he does keep it on the feet, I think Phil Rowe could get it done. But if it goes to the ground, I could see why you'd pick Ko. But I'm picking Phil Rowe in this spot. Who do you got, Bryson?
Yeah, I'm going to go Phil Rowe, too, at plus 170. I think Ko coming in as a dog against Elliott and then surprising people, it was a good performance. I actually did pick Ko on Contender Series, too, as a dog on that main event against I forget the guy's name. It was like Ivan Conti or it was like Cavalcanti, something like that. But Rowe, he has that dog in him, great cardio. He does struggle off his back, so when Ko does shoot the takedowns, if he can defend them early and use his clinch and get some knees off, it's going to be a long night for Ko. And I just think it's more of a 50-50 fight than the odds say, so I'm going to go Rowe here plus 170 and probably by a decision. I know all wins in UFC come by finish, but Ko's pretty tough, and he might it might be like one of those fights where it's 1-1 going into the third, and I'll just say you might want to have your money on the dog, Rowe. Next up, we got another women's strawweight bout, Alice Ardeline versus Montserrat Canejo Ruiz. Ruiz is coming in at plus 310, and Ardeline is minus 400. Ardeline's actually fought some decent competition in the UFC so far. I think she's had 3 fights, 1 and 2. Has a loss, I think a split decision, or maybe even 2 split losses. She has solid offensive grappling, shoots good takedowns. When she's on the feet, she'll just run at you and just explode. And very impressive 87% takedown defense. Montserrat, she's lost 3 in a row by KO, guys, and she just took a 2-year layoff. I know we were wrong about the layoff with Mizuki and Amarome, guys. I'm sorry about that one. I couldn't see that coming from a mile away. But this one I will not be wrong on. Ardeline will come in and just dominate this girl. I don't know if she'll finish her. I mean, if she is, it might be a sub or a TKO on the ground. But, she has gone finished her last 3. So maybe Ardeline KO if you want to do a long shot. But minus 400 is a decent number. Maybe throw her in a parlay. We're not throwing her, though, yet. But she's a good pick. Who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, I also got Ardeline in this fight, guys. I think she just works to the body well, and she has a way better gas tank than Conejo Ruiz. Bryson said she's coming off a 2-year layoff, and she wants to get her wrestling going. I think that plays into Ardeline's favor. She has, super impressive takedown defense at 87%. And like I said, she works the body. It throws a ton of volume. She's going to wear on Ruiz fast, guys. She presses forward, super aggressive. I think she's just going to win this fight, and I do agree, KO if you're looking for a long shot, but if you want to be a little safer, Ardeline moneyline's a lock. All right, guys, next up, we got a banger women's bantamweight matchup between Caitlin Vieira and Norma Dumont. We got Dumont coming in at a minus 165 favorite and Vieira at a plus 135 dog. Guys, Vieira is very strong physically and got some power in her hands. But on the Dumont side, guys, she has a super strong clinch game, and she shows to have super fast hands. She lands 1.72 takedowns per 15 minutes on a 56% accuracy, which is crazy. I think she's going to have her way with Caitlin Vieira in this fight, guys. Even though, Vieira has a pretty good takedown defense, I just think her volume isn't where Dumont's is, and I think Dumont is going to push the fight really well. I got Dumont moneyline in this fight and maybe Dumont decision. Who are you thinking, Bryson?
Guys, I'm going Norma Dumont here, and I think it's really disrespectful. We got this, bantamweight women's matchup on the early prelims. This is number 3 and 4. Caitlin Vieira was the only one that took Kayla to a decision, and then you got Norma, who's on a 5-fight win streak, the longest active win streak in the bantamweight division, besides Aline Perez. So if Dumont wins this, she might fight Kayla Harrison next. So I think we should be talking about this fight a little more. Dumont lands 1.72 takedowns per 15 minutes on 56% takedown accuracy. She fights mean. She's pissed off when she's in there. That's what I like about Dumont. And she showed that time and time again. And she's really strong. Like, she's thick in her legs. She will take you down and just pick you up and slam you. I know Vieira, high fight IQ, good footwork. She can implement wrestling too when needed, but I don't think she'll want to do that because of Dumont's judo. So I'm going to go Dumont moneyline and Dumont decision, and I think we need to talk about this fight a little more. I think Dumont could come in here and fight for the title. And honestly, out of everyone besides some up-and-comers like Calva Conti, who's also having a fight here, and Jocelyn Edwards, I don't see anyone else besides Norma and obviously Amanda Nunes giving Kayla Harrison a tough time. All right, guys. Next up, we got a middleweight matchup. I'm really excited for this one. We got Dante Johnson versus Cedric Dumas. Dumas is coming in at plus 295 and Dante Johnson minus 375. So Dante Johnson, if you guys don't know, he's coming from Contender Series. He took a short notice heavyweight bout, just came in, at 208, barely a heavyweight. Or just a little above that. It was something very light, but he gets the knockout in the first round. And now he's coming in at middleweight, which fits his frame so much better. You guys are going to see this guy and love him, and I think he's going to knock Dumas out. He's going to be the first leg on our parlay for you guys, so Dante Johnson at minus 375. I think that's a steal, especially for his UFC debut against someone like Dumas. I know Dumas might have a little bit of the grappling upside, but I think Johnson has some scary power, got some really fast hands, and he shows elite athleticism. He's going to just be quicker than this guy and be able to stuff the takedowns. Dumas has horrible takedown defense at 40%, and Johnson has a wrestling background. So if he wants to, get some wrestling in and get on top of Dumas and land some heavy hammers, he can do that. Who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, guys, Dumas in his last performance, I understand it was a foul, but I think he kind of overreacted a little bit crazy. But that just plays into his low fight IQ. Guys, he struggles off his back. Dante Johnson, on the other hand, he fights with super confidence, guys. And his takedown defense, it shows through. He's such a beast. Closing the distance super well, and he's super athletic. I'm going Dante Johnson moneyline and maybe Dante Johnson knockout on a long shot. All right, guys. Next up, we got a bantamweight bout between Chang Ho Lee and Timmy Kawamba. Chang Ho Lee coming in at a plus 115 dog and Timmy Kawamba at a minus 135 favorite. Guys, I've seen a lot of people high on Kawamba. He has bad striking accuracy at 42%. He wants to close the distance, and wants to fight at his range. But I think Chang Ho Lee in this fight is going to excel. He shows nasty ground and pound, has elite offensive grappling, and lands 3.27 takedowns in 15 minutes. Guys, Chang Ho Lee is going to be our second leg in the parlay at plus 115. And our first leg was Johnson, yep. So lock those two in. We got one more coming at you. But who do you got, Bryson?
Yeah, obviously I'm going Chang Ho Lee here. I think there's so much value on this guy still. He was at a pick'em against Xiaolong. I had him. And then you had him at plus money against Cortavius. Or it was like really slight odds. It was almost pick'em again. And now I'm getting him at plus 115 against a guy who's 1-2 in the promotion and who's lost to someone like Lucas Almeida. And yeah, I know Kawamba trains with a good gym, but he's a low-volume striker. He does have good takedown defense at 80%, but Chang Ho Lee, excellent, 67% significant strike accuracy. He's showing improved boxing. He got great straight shots, amazing gas tank. He's going to do great work in the clinch, too. If this gets in the clinch and Chang Ho Lee has him against the fence, or Kawamba tries to even push him, or Kawamba tries to implement his wrestling, which he shoots here and there, I think Chang Ho Lee will reverse position. I think he'll work some ground and pound. I think he could even sub him if Kawamba shoots something crazy. So I'm going Chang Ho Lee at plus 115, and you guys probably want to get this in early because this price isn't going to be there that long. So get Chang Ho Lee while you can at plus money, and look for a submission here too. All right, guys, next up we got a light heavyweight matchup between Billy Elikana versus Kevin Christian. Kevin Christian's coming in at plus 200 and Elikana's minus 250. Christian, we saw him on Contender Series last year. Don't know what he's been up to. He's this guy who's 6'7", allegedly with a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He did get a submission win off his back. He does have good transitions on the ground. But I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like his build. I don't think he's really UFC level. Meanwhile, you're giving me Elikana at minus 250, who fought Guskov in his debut, who won that. I think he got knocked down in the second round. That first round he actually won, and he got his back, and his grappling's good, and his wrestling's decent. Now, the Aslan fight, both of them snooze fest. That was, low volume. Elikana's a low volume striker. He has some slick grappling, throws some nice body shots. Decent speed on him, too, for light heavyweight. He actually gives me a little of a Dante Johnson vibe in terms of the speed and athleticism, but definitely not the power. But I'm going to go Elikana at minus 250. I think Kevin Christian might just get on his back, and Elikana might sub him and get on his back, I think, or something like that. I think Kevin Christian has to, hope he gets the one punch. That's all he has is the one punch. You always got a fighter's chance. But who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, guys. I think with Kevin Christian's build, he just has the layoff. We haven't seen him since last year. He likes to throw a lot of straight shots and wants to fight at his range, but he leaves his chin up. And I think Elikana could exploit that, even though he doesn't have super big power, guys. He will, get it done. So I'm picking Elikana in this fight and maybe by KO on a long shot. All right, guys. Next up, we got a flyweight matchup between Alan Nascimento and Cody Durden. Cody Durden at a plus 170 dog and Nascimento at a minus 210 favorite. Guys, Nascimento he's super tricky in his scrambles, and he has 15 wins by sub. Durden, on the other hand, has fought elite comp like Tagir and our boy Van. He lands 4.13 takedowns in 15 minutes on a 47% accuracy, guys. He's a dog. Honestly, I'd be scared at this fight, but if I had to pick, I'm just going to go Durden. He does have a super improved jiu-jitsu game, and I just think he can get it done here. Who do you got, Bryson?
I really like Cody Durden here at plus 170 on short notice. Guys, he lost to Van and Ochoa. He's losing to strikers who are quicker than him and younger. Now he's facing a guy who's around his same age. I'm pretty sure actually same age. And Durden's last win was in the Apex. And I like that this is in the Apex for him against Nascimento. Nascimento has an awful 30% takedown defense. He is comfortable off his back, but he's too comfortable off his back. I think Durden's going to land the takedowns, and if he can just hold the top control, work a submission here and there, land a couple elbows, and just keep holding and stay out of trouble, I think he can win a decision here and get back on track. I know he's 1-4, and I think his last win was Matt Schnell. Nothing to go on about, but I think he can beat Nascimento. I know Nascimento's a very underrated flyweight, and he's going to be very dangerous in the jiu-jitsu game. But Durden said he's been training with Pantoja more at Top Team and asking him for help, and I think Durden can get this one and get a bounce-back win on short notice. All right, guys, we're opening up the main card of this fight night with Charles Radke versus Daniel Frunze. Frunze is plus 135 and Radke minus 160. I think they made this the opener because someone is getting knocked out, guys. This one is going to be a special one. Radke has some nasty, dirty boxing, got some power in his hands. Sloppy footwork, though. He's bad off his back foot, and I don't really like the angles he takes. One thing I like in this matchup with Radke is he trains with Valley Flow Striking. I'm starting to notice, guys, that gym's legit. You got Brendan Allen, Yair Rodriguez, Bilal Muhammad. I know they got one other guy there I'm forgetting. He's pretty good. But, now you got Radke. They got some bodies over there. He's fought decent competition too. Radke, Prates, I believe, as well. Frunze, he only got that one fight against McKee, which he got knocked out, which me and Joey called. We had McKee at dog money. Frunze, 8 out of the 9 wins come by KO, TKO. So I just think this fight, someone is going to get knocked out. I do think Radke has the option of the wrestling. Frunze's not bad. He does show, he has a decent feint game, and he's really tough. He has decent, takedown defense, but he struggles with the grapplers and wrestlers. So I'm going to go Radke here at minus 160 and also by knockout. Who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, guys, this is a banger matchup. I think Frunze, he does have some appeal with his boxing and his feint game and whatnot. But honestly, Charles Radke, he'll put a ton of pressure on you guys. Obviously, like Bryson said, he trains at a great gym. He's fought great competition, and he likes to work against the cage. I think that's going to play into his favor, especially at the Apex. It's a little smaller, guys. I got Radke moneyline, and look for maybe Radke knockout late. All right, guys, next up, we got a featherweight matchup between Yair Del Valle and Isaac Dolgarian. We got Isaac Dolgarian coming in at a minus 250 favorite and Del Valle at a plus 200 dog. Dolgarian, guys, he's going to be the last leg of our parlay, but I'm going to break it down real quick and then toss it to Bryson. He has nasty ground and pound. He times his takedowns super well, and his offensive grappling is next level, guys. I'm picking him money line and maybe look for a decision. But Bryson's going to break down our parlays for you and the rest of the breakdown. Who you got, Bryson?
So, yeah, we're going Dolgarian at minus 250. So, the 3 legs, we got first leg, Dante Johnson, minus 375. Next leg is Chang Ho Lee at plus 115. And then the last leg is Isaac Dolgarian at minus 250. He lands 5.5 takedowns per 15 minutes on 52% takedown accuracy. Sticks to his game plan, shows an improved gas tank. He had that controversial split. He lost against Christian Rodriguez. He maybe should be undefeated already in the UFC. I like that he's trading at Fusion MMA, I believe. Yair Del Valle, he got some nice power in his hands. He's fought low-level competition, though. He mixes up wrestling when needed, has a nice body triangle. So he does have some jiu-jitsu and stuff, but I think Dolgarian's just going to be too smart, have the positional awareness on the bottom, and I think we're going to get this done, guys. So remember, BetMGM, that's our 3 leg. We'll remind you at the end of the video. But again, We got Dante Johnson minus 375, Chang Ho Lee plus 115, and Isaac Dolgarian at minus 250. Lock that in. All right, guys, we got the featured fight of the night, a welterweight matchup between Jeremiah Wells and Themba Garimbo. Garimbo's coming in at minus 135. Jeremiah Wells is plus 115. This one I'm not really looking to touch here. I'm going to lean towards Garimbo. I know he got, subbed unconscious by Luque his last fight. He's taken a long time off. I like his reach. I like his chain wrestling. He lands 4.81 takedowns per 15 minutes on 65% accuracy. Active with his top control as well. He lands some hammer fist a lot. Jeremiah Wells, though, he shoots explosive takedowns, headhunts too much, though, doesn't really mix it up, but he does have that one-punch KO power. He hasn't fought any good competition, really, though. Like, he looks good, but he's not too great, and I don't think he's facing great people. I think the lines are close, and I think Garimbo could get a bounce back. I don't think any of these guys are crazy at UFC level. Not sure why this one's the featured fight of the night, but yeah, I'll lean Garimbo at minus 135. Who do you got, Joey?
Yeah, I'm also going to lean Garimbo in this fight. Jeremiah Wells, he's a great fighter, and he has that one punch, puncher's chance, but he is 38 years old, guys. He hasn't fought the greatest of competition, like Bryson said, and he's a low-volume striker. He does have good offensive grappling, but compared to Garimbo, I think there's just levels to this game. He shows great head movement, solid jiu-jitsu game. Yeah, I know the Luque loss kind of sucks, but, Luque is, one of the OGs of the game, guys. So I'm taking Garimbo in this spot. It might be a little more risky pick just because the lines are closer. But, yeah, if I had to pick, I'm taking Garimbo money line. All right, guys, next up, we got the co-main event of the evening. A heavyweight bout between Waldo Cortez Acosta and Ante Delia. We got Delia coming in at a minus 115 favorite, and Waldo close behind at a minus 105 dog. Guys, Waldo has an iron chin on him, and he throws some quick low kicks. I think, he's one of the best in the heavyweight division. One of my favorite prospects, guys. He has pretty decent takedown defense, too, at 71%. He throws a lot of volume, and, I think he's just going to get it done here. Delia has, that great clinch game and, or clean feint game, my bad. And I just think, Waldo's going to get it done here, guys. Waldo, moneyline, Waldo, KO. Who you got, Bryson?
I'm going to go Delia. I'm going to go the opposite side here at minus 115. He's super strong, shoots explosive takedowns. I like that he trains with Tom Aspinall, and that gym has the best heavyweight bodies you can get right now in MMA. They also got a lot of good kickboxers. He's also friends with that Dutch kickboxer that him and Tom are training with. Forget the name, but he's a legend in kickboxing. But Delia also shows decent jiu-jitsu, does great work in the clinch. Waldo, yeah, he's fought the better competition. Coming off a decision against Pavlovich, which 2 out of the 3 had him winning 1 round. He has 55% significant strike defense, but I think what's going to hurt Waldo is this is in the apex and the cage is smaller. I think Delia is going to be able to close that distance, and I actually think he'll knock out Acosta here. So I'm going Delia moneyline and Delia knockout round 2 or round 1. All right, guys, now we got the main event. We got Steve Garcia versus David Onama. David Onama's coming in at plus 115. Steve Garcia is minus 135. Garcia, guys, excellent fight IQ. I think he showed that in the Calvin Kattar fight. He has a chaotic style when he needs to be, which is going to be scary because I think Onama can pull that out from him because Onama's going to be wild, guys. This one, the matchmakers knew what they were doing. Onama's never been finished. Throws some clean low kicks, extremely athletic, durable. Bad takedown defense at 52%. I do think if Garcia wants to mix up his grappling, which I'm sure he's improved on, and he showed some improvements, he can do that. He lands 5.18 significant strikes per minute, guys. Garcia's a high-volume guy, And I like his jab. I like his footwork. I like it in the apex for him. I think minus 135 is a steal, too. We got him, and we thought it was a steal against Cater around 200, 300. I think that was still cheap. He was on that big knockout streak, guys, before he just got the decision on a jump up in competition. I'd argue Onama's better right now than Cater, but the competition's not too far off. So maybe Garcia gets back to that knockout streak and knocks out Onama and is the first person to finish him. I could definitely see it. So I'm going to go Garcia money line, though, to be safe. And I'm not mad, guys, if you don't like it. Maybe Chang Ho Lee on our parlay or some other pieces. You could throw in Garcia or a Dumont. Those would be the other two I'd recommend. But who do you got, Joey, in the main event?
Yeah, guys. Onama, he's never been finished, like Bryson said. Throws some crazy low kicks, and he's, super athletic. But his takedown defense is only 52%. So he gets taken down, pretty much more than almost half the time. He swings too wide at times, and I think Garcia can capitalize on that with his, fight IQ and how he works to the body. He'll feint to the head, rip to the body a couple times. And like Bryson said, his significant strikes per minute is 5.18. Super crazy. He also improved his offensive grappling. So I just think Steve Garcia gets it done here. Steve Garcia money line's a lock. And, on the Onama side, he only has 50% striking accuracy. So, he's only hitting half of his shots, guys. Steve Garcia, he hits so hard and so good. I could see the KO if you want to go a long shot, but Steve Garcia money line is the lock. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Rain City MMA. We appreciate everything you do for our channel. The likes, comments, subscribes, just any interaction with our video keeps us grinding every week for you. We got a 3-leg parlay cooked up for you, and we know this one's hitting, guys. So first leg is Johnson minus 375. Second up is Lee plus 115. And lastly, Bulgarian at minus 250. Lock it in, and we'll see you guys at the cash counter.